first idea is what are the benefits of five-a-side football. The documentary angle we'll be going for is looking at the difference between a normal match and a five-a-side match, and like what people like better, and see like why they choose five-a-side or why they choose a big match. I'll also see like why Power League they should increase the five-a-side functions. Like there's not many out there in certain areas, and limited. So I'm going to talk to them why don't they increase more, and see if more people in this place. I'm going to question those people and see that they say Power League should numbers should increase. I'm also going to talk from a point of view talking about women and why they don't play football at Power League. 'Cause you don't see that, it's more of a male-dominated sport. So I'm also going to see from a woman's side of view why they don't maybe play a little team down there or something. Because every time I've been, it's pretty sexist down there because you just see male. There's just like young boys or full-on adults playing football. You don't see many women unless they're sitting out there watching their boyfriend play. But how could I get from their point of view, and I'll talk to them as well and see why they don't play. The documentary mode I'll be using is expository mode because I'm going to have a voiceover right at the beginning and also throughout, like talking about five-a-side football and the challenge, and also giving insight of what five-a-side football is all about, rather than just saying here's a pitch, they kick a ball in it. I'll go into depth about it and saying that the numbers are increasing and everything. I'll also use a participate mode as well because I want my interviewer to be asking questions with one person, and they also may be seen talking to the camera as well, but they won't be fully involved where you see them play or see them getting fully involved. I don't want that because I think that just be a distraction to the actual documentary, so I'd rather have them just talking from behind the camera. The age and gender, the appeal to target audience, I've chosen 15 to 60 for men and women because I chose women as well because there's part about women. I want them to see why, even from their points of view, from their own homes, thinking why don't we play, or see if they say anything about it. Also, obviously the subject is a football-based subject, so I think more of the audience will be footballised. So documentary will be aimed towards them. And also, I said here I can interview many footballers that play at Power League and hear all the views on it. The information I assume they already know will be quite a lot because football is such a growing sport and most countries know about it, and even if people don't know fully about it, they at least know the subject, maybe a team or something. So football is very a popular sport. The key groups I hope to interview will be footballers, as I said, that participate at Power League, so the young adults that are adults, just ask them if they can kindly have a little interview and tell me why they play and everything. And also I said that I have, if there's any women down there, people that work at Power League or people that are just standing by, and why don't they fully get involved or just hear what they really have to say. And also I can talk to the manager of Power League as well, so I can see from all his views and why they should increase more or anything, just see what his points of view are about five-a-side football. Thanks.
I think that you could ask, as you know, there's normally a girl working at the counter.
Yeah.
You could have an interview with her as well.
Yeah.
Ask her thoughts on why women don't actually come and play football at Power League, because she will have a good insight to it, I think.
Yeah, I have seen it when I've gone down, and when I thought of this subject, I thought, yeah, I could ask her, because I know she would definitely have points of view to say, because she sees many men come in and play football, so I can see her points of view, yeah.
So for those who don't watch football, but they still enjoy watching it to learn about, what the difference is?
Yeah, I hear. Well, for the people that don't watch football, I haven't fully aimed it at them, but if they were to watch it, I'm obviously, right at the beginning of the video, I'm going to have a little starter bit, just explain even though people may know about it, I'm just going to explain the basics at least, so people that probably haven't watched football, to at least get an insight to what it's all about. I'm not just going to go straight to something, you know about football, this is what it does. I'm just going to have a little bit right at the beginning saying, this is what football is, this is how many teams or whatnot. I'm just going to have a little basic there so people will understand. My idea too is the pain that single mums go through without their sons and daughters. The documentary angle will be, I'm going to give many facts and statistics on the percentage of women without their children, whether the mum walking out on the family or whether the mum didn't win the actual children in the court after divorcing. This subject is obviously very strong, as you can hear. I'm also going to hear from many mums their true pains and how they feel about their sons and daughters living with them, so I'm going to get a full insight to how they really feel and how life is without their sons, to be with them 24/7. I'm also going to talk to an organisation that my mum helps out with, and I'm going to talk to them and see why they've started it up, how long it's been running for, have they really helped out a certain amount of mums, and see what they're doing to help man and whether it's increasing globally. The documentary mode I'm going to use is the participating mode, because as I say, I would like to have an interviewer who won't be fully involved, because this subject's not a fully involved kind of thing. It's more of a sit back and listen to what people have to say. That's what I would like my interviewers to do, is just sit back, ask the questions and hear from heart what how these mums feel and everything. The other mode I use is the expository mode, again, because I would, like I said, right at the beginning, because the subject is not well known, I like to have a little beginning bit explaining all about it and how like globally it's becoming big and everything. I'd like to teach everyone about it and show mums that you're not the only ones out there that without their children or anything like that. The target audience I like to aim for is 16 to 50 for women, because the documentary is obviously about women without their children, and I think this can bring all single mums together and help them make a stand for what is right from their point of view. Also with audience with children, so it can tell them what is happening in the world with children now, and also it can teach many new parents of dysfunction of divorcing and losing your child. I assume that my audience won't actually know much information about it, because this subject is unknown. It's not globally big as Fathers for Justice, because women don't do that kind of thing. They more sit in the background and do their thing, not like openly, globally telling everyone about it. So what I'm going to do in the documentary is try and teach the many viewers about obviously the subject, and then hope that I can make single mums without their children come together, as I said. The key groups I like to interview are mums without their children, and see their views from heart and see the pain they're actually going through. And I also like to talk to the actual organisation, go in depth with it. So I'm not just going to talk about the basics, but I want to go there, talk to the person maybe running it, and see what they have to say about it and why they started it and everything about that. I can also talk from a male's point of view as well, to see if they agree and disagree with what I'm talking about. So rather than just getting the woman's side of view, I can maybe talk to a few males and see if they agree with that type of subject, or whether they are against it or agree with it.
As it's about the pain that moms have, would you consider showing some bias as well in the documentary, showing maybe the negative reasons that mothers had for leaving if they had left their kids?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get, like, I don't want to find certain things that are like, so you're talking about from the mum that leaving, about the negative things, leaving, why she left. Yeah, I'm going to try and find out as many as I can. I don't really find a base saying, oh, I lost them in court. I'd rather go into depth with them. Instead of just talking about base, I'd rather go in deep, so it's more engaging with the audience. I don't just want to hear like, I lost them in court. I want to go like saying, why did you lose them? Did you walk out on them? Than just seeing them, as I said, like, losing them. But yeah, I do want to go in depth, so it's more engaging for the audience and they won't lose tension.
Yeah.
Would you try and talk to some of the children that may not be able to live with their mums, see how they feel about the situation?
Yeah, I have thought about that, but then the people that I'm going to interview, I don't know if their children are still young, I don't know yet, so obviously I'm going to come to it, but I have questioned it, because it would be good to get a child's point of view as well, because they could have plenty of views saying, I'd rather live with my mum or I'd rather live with my dad. Then you get loads of different side stories, you get the mums, the dads and the children's, which is obviously better. But I think when I'm coming to interview them, and if I do see children and they're young, then I probably won't do it.
No,
but if they are about older, roughly like 16, my age, something, I'll probably say, yeah, can I obviously talk to you please, and just interview you. That's only if they want to, but I always have questioned it in myself. Thanks. My last idea is the effects of underage drinking and how they get the drink. My documentary angle is going to be, how do many underage people, or underage for drinking, get their hands on the actual alcohol? And how does underage drinking affect the body, and also whether they can get long-term problems. Also, I want to find out how many young adults nowadays are getting fake ID, because it's very easy to come by now, and how they get access into the clubs. The documentary mode I'm going to use is the performative mode. I chose this because I can actually get involved with this, rather than just sitting behind the camera. I think I can get involved and talk to a group of people that probably have got fake ID, and how they get in clubs and how they get their drink. I think getting involved would be a lot more engaging for the audience, because I'll get to see an insight to what they really do and how they get in. If they don't get in, what do they say, and the process they go through with everything. I also chose the expository mode, again because I think I'll have to have a little talk over during the certain shots to talk about like maybe why they do it, or like at least give a little insight to what the subject is all about, rather than just saying underage drinking, they do this, they do that. I'd rather go into base, like talk more in depth about it while looking at something. The appeal, my target audience is going to be age 15 to 55, male and female, because this is basically a documentary that would teach their parents how easy it is for children to get their hands on alcohol, and also chose such a young age because their age is obviously getting younger, where people are starting to drink alcohol now. It's not such an older, like, as soon as you used to hit 18, you used to be like, that's when you were able to drink, but people have been getting it a lot more easier now, and they're starting younger and younger, and you're hearing parents like angry because their children are coming in drunk. I also want this documentary to teach children about the bad effects of drinking at a young age, and also like it will give them an insight of how to get probably fake ID and everything, which I don't want to do, but hopefully I think the parents will understand watching it that they'll be more aware of what their child actually does, so that they'll be more secure. How much information I think my audience will know is that I think they'll have a rough idea on the subject, because you're obviously hearing more parents find out their children are more drunk at a younger age now, but I'll still have to take in mind that people might not know. People that probably haven't got children, if they're at an older age, but haven't decided to have children yet, so that can teach them something new about when they do have children. So I still obviously have a bit where I can teach adults and children all the positives and everything. The key groups I'd like to interview is obviously the underage people getting a drink, probably like a group I'm going to hang around with, find out their reasons why they do it for socialising, they do it for fun, they do it just to get drunk, hear from their point of view. Also like to talk to many parents and see their view on like, should they cut it down. I can also talk to shopkeepers as well to see if they've ever had a questioned are they really older enough to buy the alcohol. And also I've had a thought of actually talking to, like if I can, talking to a police point of view and see if they've ever come across a bunch of young adults that they've got fake ID and they've just bypassed it and never questioned it. So I think if I could do that, I could actually get an insight from the police point of view, which will be obviously gripping because you'll think they're bringing the police involved. So obviously I want to keep the audience engaged at all times. Yeah, that's my third idea.
I think another thing with key groups you could add is, you know, the older people, they're the friends that actually go and get the alcohol for them. I think you could interview them and get their views on it as well.
Definitely.
And maybe you could ask in the police aspect, ask them in shops what type of security they could add now to prevent it from happening.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't really thought about talking to the person buying the alcohol for them, but yeah, that's definitely, because that is like another part of the story, isn't it? Having someone, you give money to someone, they go and buy it for you, and that's how they probably do get their alcohol nowadays. I have to try and catch them in the process of doing it, then question them, but yeah, thanks.
How are you also going to get it across to the younger audience rather than just sort of making it sound like you're nagging on them, like a parent? Because obviously if they've got it from the parents saying not to drink, it's going to sort of make them want to do it more.
Yeah.
So how would you sort of get it across to them that what they're doing could actually be quite bad in the long run?
That's where I'm going to talk about the effects on the body. Because obviously, you know, drinking, it can give you cancer, it can ruin all your organs inside your body without you actually knowing. See, and this, I think that would be a shock for children, because children, as I said, they are drinking from a younger age now, and without them thinking, they're thinking, oh, it's just alcohol, I'm just drinking, I'm going to be fine tomorrow. But they don't know if they carry on doing it, the effects they can have could be really poor, and they could end up in hospital, which we don't obviously want to happen. But I think talking
at a younger age.
I think talking about that, it will shock them a bit to maybe not put them off, because every child's going to be a rebel and they're going to do it at a certain age where they're going to be like, oh, I'm just going to do it. But I would like to put them off for as long as I can if I go into such depth where they think, whoa, that's something I don't want to happen to me. Sometimes I talk in depth with the body and long-term problems, but yeah. Thanks, guys.